This is Phoenix Ball. Welcome to Phoenix League.
All right, so we're just waiting to start here. The teams are set up in their corners. We have Vanguard, Stack Deck. Joining with me today is Rain.
Hola.
And this is Jericho, VTR. And we've got a good match in store for you guys today. Waiting for the start, and then we will be out. Looks like we got a lot of armor on the field so far. I'm seeing, looks to be a Paladin with armor. We'll also see a fully armored looks like two warriors?
Two fully armored warriors, yeah.
That'll be interesting to see. All right, so we have a lay on. So the first match of the Ohio Phoenix League is underway. Bane coming in with the basket tech. He has a basket full of spell balls. Looks like we have possible enchantment on. Oh, Bane gets ice balled immediately. That's going to be really rough for him. Frozen on someone, but I'm not sure who's taking it. Maybe it was Bolt. Okay, Bolt looks like he takes.
We got a teleport.
Who's teleporting here?
He's back in. He's hitting him on the back now.
Oh, that was a good play right there. Gets him easily. Wait.
I don't know if that counted it.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, he looks like he's stuck there. But he's in a very fast position. And we have a score. So it looks like what happened there was we got the distraction over from the Paladin. Splits up their back line. Makes them have to commit to two lines. And from there, the first distraction lets him in. Paige is doing work, getting everything ready. I didn't see much use of per refreshes, so everyone should still be at about full. Oh, resetting the ball to the right spot. Good call there. Waiting on something, not sure what. Looks like they're waiting for time to go out. Okay, we got 15 seconds. So, what do you think Vanguard has to do to make this round a little more interesting?
Well, it looked like there was a lot of hesitation on their end. I think they were trying to gauge what they were up against pretty early on in that match. We got the Paladin coming through. They didn't know what to expect out of that, and it bit them in the ass.
Yeah, so we got some face bolts coming in from Bane. Bane's taking a very interesting approach by pulling up early and often, which is very interesting to see. Not who I would think of the front liner would be.
Looks like they're using a similar tactic. The Paladin has come in from behind again with the teleport.
Bane comes in.
Paint came in early on that.
Oh! Are they going to count that? So it looks like it's getting called back. And they're going to go ahead and reset the point. However, that does at least neutralize the point.
You got the point. Hey, did the black ball go through monk block? No, we just covered that. Motherfucker. You did not take that point then? Because they said I lost an arm when I did.
So it's going to be 1 point Stack Deck. Hope 0 Vanguard, as far as I understand it.
Yeah, I don't think they counted the point. The person placing the goal died immediately after.
And as we know, 1 second rule is in effect. So if you die from the volatile state, even after the ball has been scored, it no longer counts. We're going to clarification on Sphere of Annihilation. You can block that with a Monk's Magic Ball block. We have 10 seconds to go. Getting close. We have someone out of place. Oh, they're giving Vanguard the point on that. Interesting.
Oh, he didn't die. Okay.
So they're saying he didn't die, so there it is, a 1-1. So that is tied up with Vanguard up to Stack Deck. Stack Deck is looks like they're suffering from the loss of Raven for this fight. Obviously, he was a linchpin in the last game. For those of you who've seen the footage, he was a phenom, and of course, you know, being a sword knight, he is always going to be missed. So we got a frozen on Rabbit. That's key right there. That was a clutch throw. Another teleport. They just seem like they have no plan on how to deal with that. Ice ball comes off. Do they pick it up? Yep, we got the release out. We have 2 deaths called on step out. Death in. Bane's in. Bane throws an ice ball. And we have the Cola's on the ground, but regardless, they still get the score off. So we've got 2-1, Stack Deck to Vanguard. What are they going to have to do to answer that Paladin teleport strategy?
Well, the issue that they're dealing with is they're ignoring it like they're in V7. You're allowed to pay attention to somebody who's teleporting. You just can't do anything about them until they get across. Now, something they could be doing is just keeping an eye back there, keeping someone looking both ways. That way, when he does come out of that teleport, which he has to do immediately upon arrival, they are prepared for him to come from behind.
Do you think it's possible that they should be having their... do you think their healers might have banished, so they should be using that spell?
They could. It doesn't seem like they have anything in their tool chest to do anything about him because they're letting him go through every time. So they may have improperly built some spell lists to counter that.
Yeah, and if that's the case, there's not sure I really know what to do about it without a scout on the field having a dedicated way to deal with it.
I think that actually Bard's the best tool for greater releasing something. Considering we have Dervish and we can have extensions, we can pretty much affect any one of our teammates on the field.
Yeah, Greater Release is one of the greatest answer spells in the entire game.
It's my favorite utility spell, and I can think of like the 3 things I can constantly...
Iron Skin on Bane. Look for him to start blocking fireballs and eating heat weapons. Cad stunned off. Nice amulet. However, he only gets 2 of those refresh per max. So that has to be worth it.
Yeah, it's not. He just got released from that.
Yeah, with two spellcasters with releases.
If they were going to do that, they needed
again,
to follow.
The Paladin and Substantial can't get there fast enough, unfortunately, to take the point away. Bane doing a great job of tipping in and out. Maybe he's using that polearm to also create space as well, even if it's just psychologically. Most people don't want to close too far within that. So that should make that 3 stack deck and 1 Vanguard, if I am counting correctly.
I believe so, yes.
It looks like their strategy of teleporting the Paladin is a winning strategy so far.
Yeah, it hasn't faltered yet, so they're just going to keep repeating that until it doesn't work, and that seems to be doing the trick for them.
Without any answers, I don't know how they're going to answer that. I mean, the best they could honestly probably do is hold back, but then they're giving away really, really important field position. Not worth it, in my opinion. With the walls in place, getting the middle of the field is super important. All right, we have a next round starting. Bane did not die, so he should still have his enchantment. Little technical difficulties here. Please excuse us.
I believe this is the second time that this has happened in the Ohio Phoenix League.
Yes. All right, now that the ball is in place, I think we are ready to start the next round. So here we go. We'll do this one for real. Rabbit's coming up, slipping in. Immediately gives up that position, though. They're going to take it. Payne's just getting eaten alive with polearm shots, just trying to close. I can't see exactly what's going on, but we got some good plays coming in. Fireball's coming in, but Iron Skin's going to eat that. And the point comes in with Smurf.
Smurf sneaking in.
All right, so we're 10 minutes into the first half. We're not super close to a scum rule yet.
What is explicitly the scum rule?
I believe it's 11 up.
11 up. All right.
All right, so both teams appear to be almost ready. You know, I'm looking over here at the team, and we have 3 polearms on stack deck. Also a down spear. So that is 4 out of their...
Keep in mind that is Smurf, so that is pretty much a spear with that lanky motherfucker.
So that is 4 of the 6 members of the team that have some form of reach, which explains why Payne had so much trouble. So we have a bench coming after an enchantment. That lets the Paladin in. Looks like we see a teleport on Paladin. Let's see how they interact with that. Phase Bolt takes the arm.
Payne's trying to heal himself. He keeps having to move, though.
This is where they should be trying to push, but they don't have the ability to push when they have that capability. Bane's crowd control looks like he should be taken to death on this, in my opinion. You're basically on 4v3 at this point. So someone has the ball, but we're not sure who yet. Do you see who has the ball?
It's on the ground behind Bane there.
I see it. So he comes out. Got 2 warriors holding that line as best as they can.
Against the range of the poles, though.
That is a dispel on Bolt. Already picking it up. Already takes a death stepping through the ball. Point with stack deck. These scores are being a lot less contested. Or a lot more contested than they were. They're being a lot. They're having to try a lot harder than they did last week. So we have 5-1. 2:45 left.
Looks like they're using a brute force tactic now, just pushing in and taking out the warriors. Once those warriors are out of the way, they're kind of getting through a little bit easier.
Yeah, warriors are the hardest to push down, but with all that reach, it's just becoming a matter of just hitting them multiple times and wearing down their armor without them being able to do anything back to them.
If Vanguard's going to turn this around, I feel like they need to be more aggressive as a unit. We've got a couple of people, namely Paint and Bolt, occasionally going in with a little bit of aggression, but by themselves, they're just getting eaten alive.
An interesting strategy I've seen also is they're throwing their casters up front. Interesting to see. We have the monk up front too. Of course, their only armor has been used as the distraction.
Got that teleport coming through again. Paladin.
Here's the teleport. It's being called out by coaches, but are they in a position where they can do anything?
And an easy score.
That makes it 6-1. Depending on time left on the field, we may not have the next round. They had a good round there for a while, but then the teleportations was really killing them. Basically, the ability for them to just hold the line with their 3 members having the reach. Once they get them in the pincer formation, it is basically just done from there. This should be a short round. Aggressive push.
Cads is teleporting.
TC, this should be a quick score. Staff comes in. Oh, they're not converting this. It's interesting.
Ran through a wall.
And yep, they finally convert that one. That was an interesting play there. A lot of back and forth on that round.
44 seconds remaining. Do any of the teams want to take the full minute and go to halftime? Vanguard wants to take it to halftime.
So that's going to take it to half. The clock will run out. Let's go ahead and get words from both teams. And we'll be back after a short break from our sponsors.
Clock for